cracking and popping. Crack-a-lackin'. Let's take the Christmas off of here. All right. Okay, even though no one's here yet, I am drinking champagne tonight. And I got a little snack of grapes, feta cheese, and I usually get turkey, but they had the Cajun chicken out. And so I was like, I'm going to do the Cajun chicken because I do like the Cajun chicken. See if I can turn this better this way. Hey, Recessionista. Trying to make it where the house don't look so junky. Hi, Tashana. Thank you, dear. Mr. Parker just went outside. How's everybody doing today? I was just saying, I'm doing it cheap tonight. I'm drinking me some Andre Spumante. Now, this is what I drank on Christmas Eve that I kind of didn't remember stuff, but I really like the way it tastes, and I like drinking champagne with, I had said in the beginning that I have a little snack tonight. I got some grapes, some feta cheese, and normally I have turkey, but I got Cajun chicken. So I really like feta cheese with a good crisp grape. So good. Hi, Gloria. Your baby is outside standing watch on the compound. He'll be back in here in a minute. But I got something for him. We're going to thank Arabs for that. Oh, my little. See, I don't like how I look when I eat on TV. We won't be doing that. Okay, so. Okay, why are y'all cracky Chan? And where have y'all been? I was about to send you an email. Where have you been, Chris and Sandy? T-Man, not yet. Hadn't even started drinking. Where has Chris and Sandy been? They said it was both of them, Chris and Sandy. So Chris, you're the only mod in here? Oh, okay. Chris, you're the only mod, so I need you to be on your job. Okay, a couple of things. My braids are not, I took the curly part out. She did them too long. I don't really like them long. And the curly hair was getting all tangled up and stuff, so I just cut that crap out. And so, yeah, because I didn't want to take the braids out. I just got them. Oh, you love that name, Cracky Chan? Or Cracky Chan? What's it? Charlie Chan? Yeah, Cracky Chan. What does that mean, Cracky Chan? Okay. I'm going to give y'all a break since baby boy is on school break. I want to say, yeah, that's Chris and Sandy. Recessionista, you drinking tonight? What you doing? Oh, so is that the name of the channel? Let us know. Put the name of the channel in the chat so we all can know and we can go follow you. Okay, I don't know who Slammy Dog is, but how about we get rid of him? I don't know why people want to start so early. Tashana, I done got rid of them. Am I drinking by myself tonight? Oh well, you know that don't matter to me. Crackle Chan's journey. All right, so everybody, Chris has finally started the channel, so we're gonna support him. I'm just not feeling me tonight. Maybe it's the glasses. I'm not feeling the yellow. Yeah, Donisha had to make a little appearance. People been wondering where she was. No, wait, what is y'all saying over there? Okay, so is Cracky Chan's journey or Crackle Chan's journey? I guess we could look up both. Alright, so we want to say thank you to Tariffs because she's been trying to help me with Mr. Parker and the barking. Oh, I didn't know you had to reserve parking spots. That's interesting. I thought you first come, first serve. Good to know. Not like I'll be driving a truck, but good to know. Okay, so all right, Shoshana. You know, we'll probably still be on. So she's been helping me with trying to find ways to correct the barking and some of his behaviors that are not conducive to me for him. And so she had told me about a thing with Caesar, because I like Caesar Milan. I wish I could have him come to the house, but who knows how much he costs. So, but she was telling me the other day about this guy that was saying that his neighbor's dog barks a lot, which makes his dog bark, so he went and got something off of Amazon. So I went out there and looked. Oh, okay. Are the paid spots nicer than the unpaid spots? I mean, what's the perk of having a paid spot? I guess it ensures that you got a spot. So anyway, hey Deborah. All right, be careful, be safe, have fun. So I found this little doohickey. It is not expensive at all. You charge it up, I charge it up on my computer, and they have low and high. I haven't had to use high. They said you shouldn't have to. Low is good for correcting. So pretty much, and it's pretty neat because this is a flashlight. Yeah, it has a little flashlight on it. Oh, and it does. Okay, so then the second button is low, third is high. So when he's barking, I don't do this, so I don't want people to get it wrong. I don't do this if he's barking and another dog is barking. That's not it. But when, like, my neighbor comes out, because he barks at her all the time, I'll do it, and I'll hit it, and he just stops at his tracks. And I'm like, no. So it's more of a correction, but he's getting it. He's getting it. This thing works like a champ. I think now he knows it's me, because before he couldn't figure out where it was coming from. He was looking at the vacuum cleaner and everything. I think today he kind of seen my hand, because he's smart. He's a smart little chap. So, hey, Martina. Okay, so that's the updates for us over here. Oh, Maurice told me to tell everybody hello. He will be with us next weekend. See, the problem is, I usually put on a little makeup and stuff for y'all, but I just came raw tonight, so that's probably what the problem is. I'm looking shiny and everything else. But he said he'll see you guys next weekend and to tell everybody hello. I had to run out because I had ordered some legs for this couch from Amazon that didn't work. And I had to return. I'm horrible at returning stuff. And so I finally, today was the last day, and I had taken a nap, and I was like, ooh, let me get my butt up from here, or I'm going to lose my money. Why do y'all have a picture of is that a black guy? Okay, he has his moments. He's a nice guy, though. So, I took that back so I wouldn't lose my money this time. And so this is my first, I guess, sort of topic question. Shoshana, you just sweet. So after I had returned the legs that didn't work, I was going to pick me up some wine in Whole Foods because that's where I returned it at. Because they got the little Amazon setup in there. And of course, I didn't find anything I like. I don't understand how they have Italian and Spanish wine but no German wine. Beats me, but I don't know. So across the street, is another grocery store called Food Line. So I was like, well, I'll just go in there and get me some more champagne because I knew I had one bottle, but when I get with y'all, I usually drink two. So I go get that. So I was like, well, let me get some cigarettes too because I'm down to my last pack, and I usually buy 2 packs at a time. I don't know why. I should just buy a carton, but then I waste them. So I get in line. So I tell the young lady, I want 2 packs of Salem Light shorts. So a guy from another register comes up to help her, and she's like, hey, can you get me 2 packs of Salem Whites? Now, I knew she said it wrong. So the guy that was on the cash register in front of her said, what did you say? You want some what? And she was like, Salem Whites. And he was like, there's no Salem Whites. And I looked at her and I was like, yeah, there isn't any. I just thought I'd stand here and see what y'all was going to come up with. What kind of Salem Whites y'all have back there. Because I wasn't going to say that. I was going to see if they would be able to find Salem Whites. So then I tell him shorts. He gets longs and I'm like, no, I want the shorts. I was like, look at the cartons right there. Because see, young people nowadays, oh my gosh, we have done them such a disservice. They don't search for nothing. There were 2 packs right in front of him. They were longs, so he figured they were out. I was like, no, check the cartons. Because they had one side was where the cigarettes were and the other side was where the cartons were they used, to fill them back up. He looking down at a blue container that was on the floor, and he's like, hey, one man's wish. He was like, there's nothing in there. And I'm like, looking at him like, because I said carton. So then the girl turns around and she looks at the blue container. Is it Chasani 09? Hi. And she's like, there's nothing in there. And I'm looking at both of them and I'm like, carton. The carton's right in front of you. Hey, Polly. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay, so they give me the packs. And then he wants to size up the packs as if I don't know a short from a long and I'm the smoker. So he wants to size up the packs and I'm like, they're shorts. So he brings them to her and so she's ringing up. And so today for some reason I just wanted, I'm trying to get things together since I've been home last weekend and this weekend because y'all know I've been on the road. So I wanted fresh flowers and my plan was to go to Trader Joe's because here you got to go to Trader Joe's when they open. If not, it is packed for the rest of the day. So I was going to go get me some fresh flowers, but since I was in the grocery store, I picked me up some there. And so she's like, well, do you want me to put this in the bag? And I was like, no, that's fine. So then I buy Parker the fresh dog food to go with the dry dog food. And so I had bought a big bag. So she looks at me and she's like, do you want me to put this in a bag? And I'm looking at her and I'm like, yes, it's dog food. And she's looking at me. I was like, it's fresh dog food. Yes, I would like for you to bag it. And I told her, I was like, you don't grocery shop, do you? And she was like, no, I'm still in school. And I was like, thank you, this channel. Hi, Ronika. I was like, but still, you don't do any grocery shopping? You don't shop for your mom, pick up something for her since she works in a grocery store? She was like, no, my mother works in a store. She picks it up herself. She does her own shopping. I was like, well, I'm going to give you a hint. I used to work in grocery retail. It's always good to know the store and as many products as the store carries so that you can be an assistant to the customer, because you never know how you might get blessed by being able to help somebody. And she just looked at me and I was just like, oh my God, you work in a freaking grocery store and you don't know any of the products. Parker? Y'all see? He didn't bark no more. And so my thing is, and it made me think, it really made me think that we have really hurt our young people. Parker, no. Hey, Peaches and Cream. We have really hurt them because between technology, computers, and all that stuff, they are so lazy and they know nothing. They don't have any concept of going, I'm giving you step one, but they don't have any concept of let me try to figure out what step 2 and 3 is. All they're gonna do is whatever you show them. So they showed me how to get on this register and ring up things. Nothing in me says, when I'm going to the bathroom, let me just happen to pay attention what's on what aisle or whatever, just in case a customer may want to know. No, don't even come to their brain cells. Or, okay, so we have people that come through here who are smokers. And you know, like I told them, the beauty of it is they didn't know the cigarettes, which means they don't smoke, okay? That's a great thing. But also, to be of a better asset to the company, you should learn what's in the store. At least what's in the store. I mean, hey, Black Fuego, y'all know that's my sister. Hey, Martina. I was just like, ma'am, you just not even going to try to learn anything? And I'm sure she was like, why is this woman messing with me? And I'm saying all this to say, I don't know how many of you all may have teenagers or young adults who are in their 20s, but I was always taught to learn as much as you can. The more you know, and see, that's where they get us. I almost begin to think that this technology stuff is, in a sense, to hinder what they consider marginal populations. Because the lazier they make you, the less you're going to know, right? Okay, maybe that was too much. Because reading is fundamental. You should never stop reading. You should never stop researching. You should never stop being involved. Like me and my sister, we talk politics and whatever's going on in the world almost every day. I talk to her probably every day. I don't think I talked to you yesterday, but most of the time I'm going to talk to her at least, if not every day, every other day. And my thing is, I taught my son that. He did something here recently that I was just so very proud of him, that he was able to deal with a situation that was an issue for him and his son, and for him to figure out a solution to the problem, and I didn't have to really be involved at all. And so that's because I instilled in him to be able, hi Beverly, to be able to think for yourself. Because if you don't know, people take advantage of you, for one, and two, the more you know, the more you can be and the more you can do. So just like that situation with the young lady. You did wonderful, Tashana. Hi, Janice. Oh, we're not even going to talk about the change thing. Oh my gosh. So my thing to her was, I might have wanted to give her a tip for going the extra mile. You know what I'm saying? Because I can tell you this: if you work in grocery retail in certain neighborhoods, you can make money on the side by doing a little extra for the customer. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. So the more you know, the more is for you. Because my thing is, for her not to even know, not to want to know, and just looked at me like, and I was like, you don't grocery shop? And she's like, I'm in school still. I don't even know what the two go together with. I don't even know how the two go together. You're in school, so you don't grocery shop. And I'm thinking, she looked like she was probably a junior or a senior in high school. I was grocery shopping when I was a junior or senior in high school. I don't know about her. I went to the grocery store with my mom. And so my thing is, okay, so you don't grocery shop, even though you work in a grocery store and your mother works in a grocery store. So you may go off to college and don't even know how to go in a store and grocery shop. Don't know how to get the better deals. Don't know how to pick the right stuff. This is just crazy to me that we have gotten to a point where we are not training our children whatsoever. We're letting the system and technology do it. Thank you, Ronika. Mine did too. But part of that, I blame us. I can't just blame how things are. I blame us as parents. Wow. That's gonna be our, hey, recession needs to stay out of my topics. We ain't got there yet. I'm warming y'all up. All teens are lazy at times. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, teach your children how to go the extra mile. Teach them how to make sure that they're valuable. And I say this, and teach them how to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Martin, help me out. When you're professional on your job. I don't care what your job is. I don't care if you're the cashier. I don't care if you work at the fast food place. I don't care if you work at the retail store, in the beauty shop. What, you know what I'm saying? I don't care where it is you work. You're a professional. Excuse me. And learn your job. Learn everything you can about that job and any other job you think you might want that's within that frame of where you're working at. I mean, because it's just ridiculous that they don't know how to do anything and are not professional. And it was funny because this is the first time I've seen a supervisor manager correct the people, because the young guy who had came up to help her, he was supposed to be in self-service. And he was up there talking to her about some girl named, I don't know, Lauren or Laura or something, I don't know. So the supervisor was helping somebody with lottery tickets. So she turned around and she looked and she said, who's supposed to be in self-service? And he was like, me. She was like, well, you need to get over there. And I was like, you turn your back and this is what happens. She was like, I know. So, with young people, you have to stay on them, but most of the time, supervisors stuff don't say anything nowadays. Oh, baby, she shouldn't have been doing that when you were 7. I had chores too. Okay, being shoemaker. Because that's what I'm saying. It's getting you prepared for whatever career you want. And you just want to be good. My parents used to always say, especially my dad, I don't care if you're the street sweeper. You be the best damn street sweeper that they have. And that's how I looked at every job. I don't care what the job was. If I was cleaning the toilet, I was the best toilet cleaner that they had. You know what I'm saying? We just don't put that thing in our children for them to have pride in what they do. They go in there and they expect everybody else to pay them a lot of money, give them all these accolades, and you do a half-assed job. I probably would fire a whole team in a day knowing me. Hey, Rhonda. That's what I'm saying. How you a sophomore? I mean, either a sophomore, junior, or senior in high school, and you don't know how to grocery shop? Yeah, you know I would. You know I would, Black Fuego. I've been getting ready to call you by your real name because that's ridiculous. I mean, we have just messed them up. And see, this is my whole point, and then we'll move on to another topic since Recessionista trying to get all in my business tonight. The main reason why I'm saying this is because I know you all have noticed, and I've talked about the whole AI situation. Hi, Phil Hill. Yeah, Fuego. I don't know why you had to get that hard butt name in the first place. Because my thing is this. With AI coming up, something like being a cashier at a grocery store is something that AI can do. You already have the whole system set up. All you got to do is have it where, you could probably put it on a conveyor belt and they just slide it on through or whatever. Or a robot could do it. I don't know. But what I'm saying is we need to make sure our young people are able to have a career in something in case AI takes over whatever it is that they're doing. And if you don't want to learn how to do the minimal jobs, how are you going to learn really how to do the bigger jobs? Parker? No. Parker. Okay. Okay. We're going to hit the change thing before I move on. Now, me and my sister, we come from that group of people that you work hard. We always have done the work when we are at a job for more than one person. This week alone, I worked 53 hours. That's why y'all ain't seen me that much. We've been a little short. First, we didn't have no work. Now we're picking up work, and then we've had a lot of people sick. It doesn't matter whether you plan to stay on the job long, Peaches. Really, Recessionista? Stop it. Yeah, where is Chris? I mean, I'll do it. That's what I got moderators for. Thank you. And my thing is this. You don't want to do, to me, and I don't want anybody to get offended, but when you're the person that just wants to do the bare minimum, that says a lot to me about your character and who you are. And maybe that's because I'm from that old school thing, because I'm going to look at you like, okay, so you're going to do the bare minimum, that's fine, but what are you excelling to be in your life? I've never been the bare minimum. Never been. I've always did over and above. I've always did the work of more than one person. What's your take, Chris? There are going to be lazy people in every field that you go into. And those are the ones that stay. You know why they stay? It's because they're not going to achieve any more than what they're doing. The hard workers move on because they're excelling. That was just a stepping stone for them. Okay, so this is an interesting conversation. Are you going to let other people dictate your work ethics? I say, and this, and you know, y'all can agree to disagree with me. Y'all know that. I'm saying this because the people who are lazy and only going to do the bare minimum are mediocre people in the first place. They're going to be right there 75 years later if they're still living. The people who usually go over and above are the ones who are striving to do something more. Hi, Janelle. No, I'm not saying you have to volunteer for everything. What I'm saying is, okay, and this is what I mean. If you're the customer service rep that's on the phone, right? And so your job is to just answer the people questions, guide them, or whatever. But you may have a situation where the customer needs a little bit more of your time, and it may mean that you may have to do something outside of what you normally do. You may have to do a little research. You may have to do a little bit of something extra to help that person. Are you the person that says, hey, that ain't within my job title? And because it's not something you have to do, and you could just easily tell them that you can't do it? Or are you going to be that person that's going to take the extra time to help that person a little bit more than you need to? It doesn't matter who the boss is. Okay, I'm going to say this, and Martner may be the only one that agree with me on this one. Hopefully she does. When I do my job unto the Lord, okay? And so I'm striving for excellence in my work, in my work ethics. I'm going to say, I have awesome work ethics. You can say what you want to say about me, but I'm a damn hard worker and I'm a good worker. And so when I do my job, regardless of how shitty my boss is, I'm not doing the work for them. I'm doing it unto the Lord. Because, see, I look at it like this. I'm building up treasures here, but I'm building up treasures there. And so if I'm doing the job how I'm supposed to, then regardless if I got a shitty boss or not, I'm still learning my skill. I'm learning more, and I can move and do something else if I don't want to work for that person anymore. And God will open a door for me to move to someplace else. I mean, that's just how I think of it. I come from a family of hard workers. You know, work ethics was just put in us. You know what? Work ethic does mean doing more than what you're required to do. You may be just hired to be the bagger, which is just put the groceries in the bag because you don't have to take them to the car no more. Maybe mop the floor, clean the bathrooms. No, your job may not be to take the bags to the car for an elderly couple that really can't do it. That's going over and beyond. So yes, sometimes it does mean doing more than what your job requires. See, y'all are so busy thinking about what the other person thinks. This has nothing to do with the other person. You can have the shittiest boss in the world. This is about you. This is all about you. And so my thing is, if you got a shitty boss, if you've been working hard and doing over and beyond, that means that you've learned skills that you didn't need to learn, and you can move up. See, the thing is that you're not thinking. The more you learn, the more you do, the more qualified you are to do something else. It really is. I've learned how to do other people's jobs simply because they were slack. But guess what? In the long run, when it came to the promotion or me wanting to get a different job, I was able to do that because I learned how to do somebody else's job just because, not because it was required, just because. I have worked at jobs where I have gotten promoted in the first 6 months. Why? Like the one I got now. Why? Simply because I was a hard worker. Like now. There's nothing that I can ask my boss that I can't do. Why? Because I'm always at work. I always work overtime the majority of the time. I'm always there. I volunteer to do other stuff. Sometimes, not all the time. But I'm not a person that calls out. You know, I come to work. Cars and mocha, hey. I am thinking about getting one Cars and mocha. Who told you I was thinking about getting a new car? People, help me. Let me help you out. You don't have to stay in one place. If you don't like the job, you don't like the people, you don't like the boss, put yourself in a position where you can go do something that you like. Now, that's one thing I do give the young people credit for. They're not trying to stay someplace forever. They're just shitty at the jobs that they do most of the time, but they're not trying to stay there forever. If you don't like a job, move. What do you do, recessionista, if I may inquire? Now, like I told y'all, this is Deborah's work ethics. Everybody don't have the same work ethics. I had to have a conversation with my son the other day. He works for a micromanager. I hate people. Okay. That's a hard job. Extremely hard job. But have you ever thought about the fact that you could be your boss and open up your own company that hires CNAs to work for people? We have a population that's growing older. I'm always telling people, think outside the box. And you better start thinking outside the box with the president we got now. Get rid of T. Smith. I tried being a CNA. I tried 2 times. Couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. That just wasn't my forte. So I took my hat off to you, recessionista. And you and your sister should really sit down and put on paper. I'm a big person with putting your goals and dreams on paper so you can see it. You can see it. You can read it. You can speak it. You don't have to work for somebody else. Like I'm just telling recessionista, if they're not going to pay you what you're worth, if you're willing to do more than what is required, then that says to me, then you can do it yourself. You don't have to work, like I just told my son. You work for a lady that's a micromanager. Y'all don't get along. This is her first time being in charge. She's trying to do your job and her job and ain't being successful at either one. There are not many men in the field that you're in. So, open up your own. You can be an entrepreneur. I've told y'all how I became an entrepreneur. That's what I'm trying to get my son to understand, that he has that same personality that I have. Means that we don't work well under people who are shitty bosses. And so we may have to do our own thing. It is recessionista. But how many people are qualified to work in hospice? You're in a niche, and unfortunately, it is a needed niche. You could be a private hospice aide to families. Hospice is a very, I wish my sister would come on when she gets to a point where she feels like talking about it, about her experience with hospice with my nephew. That is such a touchy area that people would love to have a more personalized. I'm not saying that people in hospice are bad, no. But sometimes, just having somebody that you feel a little bit more connected to in a situation like that. You can hire yourself out as just like a private CNA, a private hospice aide. Um, I want y'all to start thinking outside the box, especially you younger people. I'm on the back end. I'm just doing what I do because I like to spend money. But for the younger ones, I want you to start thinking you don't have to stay locked in any career, any field that you don't like. You can make your own way, even now. See what I'm saying? Paulie said he had a bad hospice aide. But wouldn't it have been nice that he already knew somebody that he had been talking to and felt comfortable with, that he could have Lord, this is champagne kicking in already? Could have them come in and work with his family member. Because that is such a horrible time to have a stranger come in and work with your mother, your father, your child, whoever. That's very true, Karzamoka. A recessionista, if that's what you and your sister both do, just test the waters. Make yourself up a flyer. Get you a little business license. And just put yourself out there on the internet. Go to cares.com. They have babysitting, all this stuff. They might have some, I know they have for CNA, but you could put yourself out there, specialize as a hospice CNA. And see how many people will come and try to hire you. You can always test the waters while you still have a job. Thank you, Fuego. End of life doula. I've never heard of that. But that's pretty much what I'm talking about. I want y'all to really start thinking about these things, because we're in a situation now that some of the ways we were making money may not necessarily be here, right? And see, that's what I'm saying. You're doing all the work, but they don't want to pay you. Let me tell you something. You can make as much money as you want to make. Right now, because and I'm going to have him tell his story, because I don't like to tell other people's stories. But I'm going to ask Maurice if he would like to tell his story. But anyway, he works over, he's in the restaurant business, right? And what I'm finding now is that they promote the people who will do the work, but they don't always have good managerial skills, meaning they know how to implement the job, or they know how to do the job, but they don't know how to deal with the people. She won Employee of the Month for who? Charlene? So, and the way he keeps talking about it, and I'm thinking there's just such a simple solution, is that the supervisors and managers are not trained. And so now he has put in my head, my wheels are turning, and I'm 62. That's why I always pray to God, I need to live to about 175 or something, because there's always an opportunity to do something different. So I'm looking at now making up a training manual for the type of business, restaurant business that he's in, that I am going to put before the owner of that franchise, and so that I'm going to show him how he can be more successful, keep his workers, and be able to make more money. All you got, if you can show them the bottom line that they can make more money. And so yeah, that I'm formulating it in my head so I can get it together to put it on paper. Is that what you waiting on? I know that's Chris and his foolishness. You keep on waiting on them aliens, all right? I always look at it like this: if you can do the job better, then the next time there's an opening, put in for it. or create a job for yourself. And if you gotta be a worker to have your own business, because it ain't no joke when you the boss and the employee. Oh, child, where do you work at, Chris? Okay, so moving on to our second topic, because Recessionista and others kept throwing it in. Damn, now I forgot what it was. Oh, with the state of affairs of the United States. I don't know what's happening to us. I don't even know where we're going, y'all. I really don't. I'm going to say it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. I am someone's grandma, just not yours. Okay? So which word? I don't even know where we should start. Okay, so let's see what was the newest working in. Okay, so the DEI, diversity, what is it? Diversity, inclusion. What's the E, y'all? I want to say equity, but it's not equity. Yeah, okay, it's equity. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. So for those who don't know, it's pretty much a program so that all would be included in the workforce. Inclusiveness. So it's all races, all genders, everybody, right? And why do you have to have a program like that? One, the main one, is because everybody is not being included. Simple as that. If you don't have diversity, and this is statistically been proven, if you have a diverse company, you are usually more successful. So, if you have people you're including everybody, which means then you have diversity, your equity goes up, right? Okay, it's very simple, but not everybody is simple. I mean, smart. So, he decided, our new president in charge, has decided to kill that whole program. And I mean kill it. Take it out. It ain't here no more. Very first week, I don't even know how many weeks he's been in now. Is it 2? We go on the 3rd? First week. So, hey, Scorpio mama. So, I just was listening, because I'm always listening to stuff, and I heard that, I think I came on and I told you guys that I would no longer be shopping at Target. I had already quit Walmart because of their horrible service. So Target, Walmart, and I should have put a list out on the community page, and I will do that. But I know those are 2. Matter of fact, I wanted to go to Walmart to get some damn spray paint, but I went and paid the extra money at Lowe's simply because I refuse to give them any of my money. And the thing is, people are like, well, Walmart is cheap and all that. With these companies, if you don't hit them in their pockets, that's all they know is the money. So if you don't hit them where the money is, they don't give a shit. But what people don't understand is, when they take these programs out, that means that these companies no longer have to work with small businesses that are owned by females, people of color, people of LGBTQIA. I think I got it all. Because let's take, I think it was called Miel Hairline, for those of you who know. It was started by an African American female. She's since sold the company, but I'm just using that as an example. Okay, so let's say when she was bringing it to the forefront, everybody was buying it and stuff, and she was trying to get a contract with Target, because that's where they're selling it at. So she gets the contract with Target. But now, let's say Target decides that we want to add somebody else from Europe, and we don't want this company no more, even though we in contracts or whatever with them, blah, blah, blah. We don't have to deal with her anymore simply because we may not want that black hair product on our shelves. I mean, they could be, whoever is over making the deals can have issues on any level. They can say, I don't like people who are gay. So I'm not going to make sure that Target or Walmart does business with any companies that are owned by gay men, gay women, trans men, whatever the case may be. Lord, I don't know where I'm going to shop then. Don't tell me Amazon on the list. I'm going to cry. Hopefully they are recessionista, because I work for a company, and right after he put this out, they sent us an email talking about DEI training on something. So I think that they can get around it by calling it something else, but I think that it would be crazy for any corporation to decide that they are not going to use the same systems that have been in play to help them get to where they're at. Oh man, that's a whole night topic, Chris. That's all the time. But you got to be able to prove it. Why are you messing with me tonight, recessionista? You just being a fly in my ointment tonight, aren't you? Chris, that's all the time. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's what companies are doing. They changed the name. I hope they are. I hope they're smarter than what I thought. Has it happened with me? Yes, it has, Chris. Hi, Tony. Okay, so I used to work for Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And I worked as what they call QA or QC. I was quality control, quality analysis. I was a person that checked behind other people's work, right? So if you were a person that did claims and stuff, I was the person that came in to make sure that you didn't make any mistakes when you were typing up the claims information. You know how when y'all get jobs and you put in your stuff for your health insurance. So I went up for a position. First of all, I had left the department because of the fact that the two bosses I had, the manager and the supervisor. Supervisor was this Episcopalian wife. Her husband was a pastor, but her skirts were so short you could see her panties when she walked up the stairs. And this is an old broad too. Her kneecaps was wrinkled. And the African American supervisor who was over us, she used to be a teacher, which was scary in itself because she was a horrible supervisor. She wanted me to spy on my coworkers, and when I refused to do so and tell her what they talked about, then that's when I was shit on the stick, and she rode me like a bucking horse every day. I would come in and look at my computer and pray and say, Lord, help me make it through this day and I don't quit. The only reason why I didn't quit is because the year before I had 6 jobs, and my mom was like, please don't quit this one. And so I was trying to stick it. So then I applied for another QC position in another department, and I was able to get it. So after I had worked there about 1.5 years, I wanted to go up because they had a supervisory position open. And I knew that I was qualified because I had updated our training manuals. I was one of the highest producing in QC. The people loved me because I wasn't a person that just nicked them. It might be that you were having a bad week, and so maybe that's why your error rate was up. I was a person that tried to work with everybody. So anyway, it was me and this white lady, and so we both went in there. They're not sunglasses, they're glasses. They just have a pink tint to them. And so I knew I had aced the interview because it was a board interview, and I was used to doing that from the military. And like I said, I had 6 jobs the year before. So me and being able to get a job and interviewing, it was a snap. Well, they wanted to hire a white woman. And so, they always give you this bullshit reason why they didn't hire you. I was a little upset because one of the people that was on the board was somebody I knew. And I always get this thing where, I'm going to say this, and I hope my Caucasian subscribers don't get mad, but they're going to take care of their own. We're too afraid to do that because we're so happy we got the position that we don't ever want to be called on the carpet for helping other people out. So I was upset. Because I knew it was rigged. But instead of getting so mad, I prayed. And I ended up going home, and I was making more than everybody in the department, to include the manager and supervisor. You sometimes have to work around it. You know companies that will promote the most qualified regardless of race and gender. And then there's companies who are going to hire people like our president that's hiring people in positions that they're not qualified for. It's ridiculous. The DEI covers everybody, Paulie. Gender. It has to do with race. It's a program that's trying to promote inclusiveness of all people. It's for everybody. Because you can have a gay person that's white. You can have a gay person that's Hispanic. You can have a gay person that's Indian. It's inclusive of all people. They're trying to get away from looking at the color of somebody's skin, the gender they are, or their own sexuality, which should have never come into play into anything, and hire a qualified person. So now we're going to get to that. So y'all know at this point now we've had 2 airplane crash in the last couple of weeks. So the first one, when the helicopter and the airplane was coming in, and I'm assuming it was air traffic controllers, because they're controlling how planes come in and out. It's like having a highway in the sky. My roommate in the military, one of them, she was an air traffic controller, and I was telling my sister today, you find very few African American women in that position. Being an air traffic controller really is a position that is mostly held by Caucasian men, right? So there's very few women in it and very few women of color in it. But she did it in the military, and when she got out, she did it for the military as a civilian. She just retired. Really, it includes everybody, Martina. That's what I was saying. It includes everybody. So for them to blame that aircraft on DEI is ridiculous, because now you're saying that the reason why those two, that plane and the helicopter, crashed into each other was because somebody of color or somebody of a different gender than male or somebody who was of a different sexual preference caused the crash. That is the craziest shit I ever heard of. He does it for the shock factor, and he does it because he's ignorant as hell. I'm wondering what they're going to say about this second one that we just had. If they're going to say it's DEI. That's just stupid. I mean, it's so ignorant that it's ridiculous. No, the YMCA is not based on gays. There was a singing group in the 70s called what the hell is the name of the group? Y'all know it's kicking in now. What's the name of the group that he had sing? Village People. The Village People is a group from the 70s, and it was a group made up of all gay men. And they dressed up. One was an Indian, one was a police officer, one was a fireman, and all this stuff. And for some reason, he loves the song YMCA. I mean, I like the song YMCA. It's a catchy song. And for whatever reason, he likes them, and he always has them. And so people are shocked that he's doing the shit he's doing, and he had the Village People. But, with Trump, he does what he does to sway people to his side. He really does. I doubt if the pilots were foreign. I think the helicopter pilot was military, and the other one was a civilian aircraft. I forgot people with disabilities. It's supposed to be inclusive of everybody, so if you can think of anybody that has anything going on, that's who would fit in that group. So that would be everybody. So that was the first thing. And then when I posted, which I have to thank my sister, she sent me that list. I think it was 12. I want to say 12 or 16. I'm not sure. Of him doing the freeze on the federal funds that sent things into chaos, because you had people on Medicaid who couldn't get seen. You had people not being able to get paid. You had organizations who could not function because they couldn't pay what they need to pay and get things done. You had, who would take away Meals for Wheels? And for those who don't know, Meals for Wheels is a program that was set up years ago that goes out and they give meals to seniors. Because a lot of seniors no longer cook. And so you're now saying you're not going to let the seniors have any food. Child care. Section 8, which is covering housing. Our housing situation is off the chain. People cannot afford. I told y'all about me moving. If it wasn't for the fact that I had a good job and I get disability from the government because of my time in the military, I couldn't afford to be able to live where I'm living at. And so my thing is, taking away Section 8, which always has a waiting list anyway, was just crazy. Fuego, what were some of the other programs that was out there? See, Meals for Wheels, Section 8, Medicaid. I cannot think of some of the other ones. And my issue was, school lunches, free lunches for the children. I was so hurt that I did cry. I didn't tell anybody, but I cried because this year was the first year that they took away the summer feeding program for the state of South Carolina. And that meant that all these children who don't get their free meal because school is not in, their 2 free meals, breakfast and lunch, are now hungry. So they had the summer program, because my church did it for years, where they could come and get lunch. We didn't do breakfast, they did lunch. They took that away. So I was just thinking how many children went hungry this past summer. Thank you, Tony, WIC program. Because the lunches were taken away. So now, for people who cannot afford school lunches, they have free lunch program. It goes by your income. He's taking that out. So how many kids are not going to be able to have lunch? So let's say you come from a household that the money is tight, no matter how many jobs mama got. She's a single parent. She got a lot of kids. She can't afford all the food that is needed. Or you got parents who are just shitty parents doing something else with the money. And so you don't get breakfast and you don't get lunch, and it's a hit and a miss on dinner when you get back home. That's crazy. WIC program. Women, something, and children. It is for, do you know how much formula costs now? I can tell you, it's expensive as hell because my grandson, the last grandchild, was a preemie, and he had to have special milk. That milk was, and this was, he's 3 now, so I guess he's been off of that for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. It was 30 something, almost $40 for a can. So if you're a single parent mom or a household with 2 parents working but struggling because you may have 3 other kids and you got a new baby, you can't afford to buy formula. And yes, we know that women can produce milk. And I wish that we would push that even more in this day and age. Y'all, this chat is going by so quick. Because of the fact that if you're pregnant or you got somebody in your family that's pregnant, you might want to suggest to them breastfeeding is the way to go because it's free milk. Get down. It's free milk, and you WIC may not be there. Now, the thing about WIC is not just milk. WIC would carry you, I want to say up to, y'all help me, is it 5 years old? You can get formula, you can get regular milk, and it gives you some food stuff like, it gives you healthy stuff like beans, different things for you to be able to make, food for your family. I had WIC. I had Medicaid when I was pregnant with my son. I didn't make no money. I was a single parent mom working in a restaurant. SNAP. Can you believe food stamp benefits? Now, we know that there are some people that take advantage of it, but that's not everybody. What am I chewing? I'm chewing on some Cajun chicken breasts. Medicaid came in handy. And this is stuff that I never told y'all. Thank you. Cereal, juice, peanut butter, produce, oatmeal. Stuff that kids need to be able to grow and be healthy young people. Oh my gosh. I hate when I have people coming here when we're in the middle of a serious conversation with their bullshit. Yeah, it's just the chat is going by so quick. I have to go back. Yeah, I got rid of them. It's just that these are such important programs, and they're hurting our children. Head Start. Do you know how many young children need Head Start to get them prepared? It just helps them get prepared, and it propels them into being successful when they go into elementary school. I had Medicaid, like I said, I had gotten out the military. I got pregnant before I was out the military a year, and they had told me I couldn't get pregnant. They told me I had a tilted pelvis, and I could never get pregnant because my pelvic was too tilted. And I got out in June of 91, and I was pregnant by March of 92. So when I had my son, I had some money that I had saved from when I got out the military. But that would have been okay if I was a single person. But now I got a baby coming. And if y'all want to know, I'm eating grapes with feta cheese and chicken breast. Peaches, I'm not saying you're right, Tony. I love a good grape with some feta, and I usually use turkey breast, but they had the Cajun chicken on sale, and I like Cajun chicken. So yeah, I had Medicaid because I couldn't afford my medical, because when you're pregnant, it's expensive to be pregnant. You go to the doctor a lot. And so I had Medicaid while I was pregnant, and then the Medicaid carried my son until he graduated from high school. So we're talking about all his shots, all his well care checkups, anything that might have happened to him during those years, eyeglasses, dental, ears, everything. It was a blessing. WIC. I started out breastfeeding, but for whatever reason, I wasn't able to produce enough milk because my son, I almost had a 10-pound baby. And so I needed formula. I believe in feeding my son healthy. So the WIC came in handy. I mean, these programs are there for a reason, and they're very much needed. And I was a parent that was involved with wanting to be a parent. I can only imagine for the children who don't have parents who either don't know how to be a good parent, have never been taught how to be a good parent, or got just issues. Peaches and cream. There's a difference in evaluating a program and how we can cut the fat off and make it better, and freezing a program. Thank you. And you talking about a baby and how much that's all a newborn baby is doing, nothing but drinking milk. So $30 a tin can. It's a lot. No, Beverly, you's a big baby. Oh, Tashana, be glad you back. Programs for the homeless. We already have an issue with the homeless, and we don't have enough programs. I know we don't here in South Carolina. And me as a veteran, you know I'm very much involved in trying to see what's going on. Nursing home programs, recessionista, you know, that's over in your area of being a CNA. Women, infants, and children, that's what WIC is. And thank you. That was another thing, Chris. The formula that my grandson was on, all of a sudden, it became like it was gold. There was not enough of it. All these babies were on it. We couldn't find it on the shelves. I was trying to order it off of Amazon, and we couldn't get it. It was to the point that the mom was trying to feed the baby. I'm not even going to go into it. Something that I had never heard of as far as trying to supplement the milk. And I was telling her to see if maybe she could try to get the pill to help bring your milk back in, bring it back down. Because of the fact that you just have to be mindful. Don't just look at what's going on in your neighborhood, in your home, and with your family. If you can breastfeed, or the person that you know can breastfeed, I would 100% say breastfeed. I was able to breastfeed for a while. And so my son actually got sick. And that was one of the things that helped him recover quicker, was because of the fact that I had been breastfeeding. And it's free. And you don't ever hear about a child that gets sick from his mother's milk, or they have allergies to it or whatever. I'm telling you, things will get bad. I mean, see, I didn't. Tashana had enough to give to two other children, and I was barely making enough to give to Forrest. He was just drinking more milk than I could produce. That's how my grandson was. By him being a preemie, he had to have the special formula. Like I said, it became a shortage at one time. It was just crazy. I had never heard of that. A lot of women who can breastfeed, who produce a lot of milk, We'll freeze it, and you can donate your breast milk. For those who are younger, who are still having children, or you know somebody who is, if you produce a lot of milk, don't just waste it. You can freeze it and give it, and other babies can utilize that milk. You know, it's just a good thing to do. Yeah, I did the cereal with my son. I had to, because milk was just, that boy was eating. You know, most newborns eat about every what, 4 hours or so. He was every two. It felt like I just had him hanging off my breast all the time because he just was eating so much. So the latest is after the freezes today, he puts tariffs on China, Mexico, Canada, and there's one other country. I can't ever remember the name of it. And so, yeah. So now, not China, Mexico and Canada are pissed. And I don't blame them. Now, you got to look at this as us being the United States. We are bordering Canada at the top, Mexico at the bottom. And you put a 25% tariff on them. And so they've already said that if he did that, it was going to be hell to pay. And then you know who's going to pay? Us. Excuse me, not him. Because all they're going to do is whatever we get from them, they're going to charge more. And things are already expensive enough as it is. Wait a minute, I hadn't heard. Y'all hold on. Ugh. Okay. Sorry, I hadn't heard Mr. Parker for a while, so I'm trying to figure out if he's still in the yard. What he doing out there? All right, get down. I hate to see if he was still around, if he'd have got out the fence. We're going to pay for the tariffs. I mean, it's crazy. And then putting a tariff on China. We get so much stuff from China. Do y'all remember, for those of you who live in the United States, do you remember COVID? And when we couldn't get stuff from China like we normally did because of, you know, them having to go through COVID checks and all this stuff like that? You know, it just, I mean, it was to the point that stuff that to build computers, cars, all these different things that we get from China, and now you want to put a tariff on them. And see, like I was telling my sister, he reminds me of him and his little group that he got, Elon and the rest of them. They remind me of those kids that nobody played with, that everybody thought was a little weird or awkward, and they didn't get along with other people well, or they had their social skills were not up to par. That's who they remind me of. So you can now become successful as men, and so now you want to get everybody back. That's what Polly, my sister was talking about that today, talking about she needs to stock up on her tequila before the price go up. So for y'all tequila drinkers, you might want to stock up on that if you're getting your tequila from Mexico. No, I never slept with my baby. He had a bassinet that was right by the side of the bed. I got a bottle of tequila. And Paulie, she had the nerve to want to know because she had my bottle today. I told her no. I might need to get about 3 or 4 because it's going to be a long 4 years. I don't know how many I need to get. And my Tito's come from Mexico? Oh, child, I'm gonna need to get. I'm gonna have to go get me some Tito's and stock up. I didn't know that. Yes, suicide prevention. As high as our suicide rate is right now, especially with teens and veterans. I mean, and this is just my take on this. You guys know how much he loves hanging out with the people who are dictators, right? Like China, North Korea, Russia. You notice you hadn't heard anything from Korea or Russia, right? You ain't heard nothing from China. You know why? Because they're happier than a pig in swamp. They done got this ignorant. Ooh, is that Ash? I'm sorry, y'all. They done got this ignorant ass to believe that they're his friend. And so the people that he's putting tariffs on are all our allies, right? Who are extremely close to us, not just border wise, but relationship wise. So now, once you get rid of our allies because you pulled us out of the European summit and the the WHO and all this other stuff that he's disconnecting us from as a country, what happens? Do you really think a country that's run by a dictator is going to be buddy buddies with you unless they're getting something out of it? Hell no. What happens is the United States no longer is a superpower. It weakens us. It puts us in a vulnerable position against these other countries. So now that we don't have our allies, he's thinking of these allies need us so bad. Being in with having allies is that everybody needs each other. So if somebody got something going on, you got somebody to have your back. When you do the bullshit that he's doing, now you make us an island by ourselves. So somebody like China, North Korea, and Russia can come in and do whatever the fuck they want to do because we know that China done bought up half of the United States. I mean, this is a very serious situation. And people, I know it's so easy to get caught up in your own personal stuff. It is. Because that's what you deal with day in and day out. But you got to be able to look into the future and how what's happening now can affect you. Because like I keep telling y'all, what's happening up there, you may say to yourself, it's not affecting me. It is going to affect you on some level at some point. It is going to affect you. Y'all still on the baby talk. I guess the baby talk is more important than what's happening in politics. Is that what y'all telling me? We'll just see. I tell you what. We're in February now. Oh, today is my grandbaby's birthday, the oldest grandchild. Happy birthday, boo-boo. I'm not going to say your name, but happy birthday. So we're in the second month, and all this bullshit has happened. Let's see what's going on by the 6th month. Let's just see what is going on by June. Thank you. Ego and racism. And you know his dad was a racist. And anytime you can tell your brother that you don't give a shit if your nephew die, you ain't gonna help him, I know he don't give a shit about us. I don't know why these people who voted for him thought he did. They did vote. They voted for, first of all, you had the people that were so upset they wanted him back because they really thought he did something for them before and he didn't. And then you had the African Americans, especially the men, who voted because they didn't want a female in charge. A lot of people voted because they didn't want a female in charge. Beverly, you talking about they're like a sleep blanket, the sleep blankets that they make now. Thank you, Sandy. I'm laughing, but I may be hitting y'all up in the email, be like, hey, do y'all have that over there? How much y'all gonna charge me to send that to me? I laugh, but it is possible. Girl, I already said that I was gonna change my iPhone out. But all of our phones have chips in there from China, so it don't really matter whether it's an iPhone or not. We don't make it in the United States, and that's another thing. They lied to their people. Elon is trying to outsource more jobs than we already outsource. Why? Because it's cheaper for the companies. Why do you think most of the time when you call any company, you're talking to somebody probably from India or somewhere? Wait a minute, Tashana, did you say your daddy was a KKK? Thank you, Tashana. Put that back in there, Tashana. Did you say your dad was a KKK? Who talking about they didn't get their Timu? Oh yeah, Paula, he wants to be. I consider him vice president, not Vance. Elon is a vice president. Well, thank you for your service, USMC 8506. Not sure how you end up in my chat, but I am an Air Force veteran. So I don't know if retiring is a good thing for you, but congratulations on the retirement and thank you for your service in the Marine Corps. I'm going to tell you what, y'all are sharp as hell. And you're leaving Japan tonight, and you will get a home cooked meal from somebody when you get back to Alabama. That is for sure. I can guarantee that. But thank you. I hope that leaving the military is not a sad thing for you. Think of it as embarking on a new venture in your life, a new journey. And also just think about being in the military, you're part of an elite group. We have a small segment of the United States population that actually have served in the military. So, thank you. Oh, my sister upset because she didn't get her Timu. A lot of y'all ain't gonna get your damn Timu. It's coming from China. And I tell you what, Timu ain't gonna be as cheap as it was if some tariffs get put on it. But you know what? I might need to go on and do that sponsorship with Timu so I don't have to worry about the paying the tariffs. People gonna be hurt because we get a lot of shit from China. I mean, we get a lot from China. Oh, your Timu came last week, Shauna. Oh, no problem. We are definitely military lovers over here. I'm a military brat, born on a military base, went in the military myself, got a long history of people in my family in the military. So you are very much loved over here. You be careful coming home. Yeah, we will hook you up, USMC. I'm in South Carolina. We hook you up with a good old Southern meal. Oh, I forgot Shein came from China. Oh, hell. See, they're just touching every. Do you see how much of our lives are being touched? We done talked about clothes, eyeglasses, and Timu has everything now. Uh, hey, you're in Alabama. I'm in South Carolina. Hit up my email. It's in my description box. We can fix you a home cooked meal. I wonder if all the eyeglass places are out of China. Cause y'all know I use oh dang. Nikki, what's the oh, I'm sorry. Fuego, what's the name of the eyeglass place that we use online? These are regular glasses. These are not shades. These are not sunglasses. These are Zenni. Are they from China? You know what? Colombia is through with us. We didn't hit on that. Tashawn, I did say thank you for the super chat, right? Thank you, dear. You know, when he sent those people from Colombia back, and Colombia was like they were not going to take. No, that was Cuba. Cuba said they weren't going to take them. He put a tariff on them. Because Cuba was like, we are not taking our people back. They went to America, y'all can keep them. Zenni is good. I love them. They are good. I tried Zilu. Is that how you pronounce it? They messed up my prescription. I love the frame, but they messed up the prescription. I haven't had any issues with Zenni. The glasses that y'all always be talking about you like, they're all from Zenni. Yeah, I have never had them mess up my prescription. I love the frames. They're inexpensive. I'll tell anybody, don't do American whatever it is. They be lying. They talking about you can get 2 pair of glasses for $89. Nope. I took my son, 1 pair of glasses was $300 and some with the exam. If you need an exam, go to Walmart. Even though we're kind of banning Walmart, but go on to Walmart, get your eye exam because they're cheaper, and then get your glasses online. Because the eye exam is less than $100, and I haven't paid over $60 for any of my, and I wear bifocals. And this one I got tint in. I might have paid $75, but all my glasses are $60 and below. I'm with you, recessionista. I guess that's making us tighten up. But it's not just the extra money we spend. It's like the stuff that you need, like food. Oh, I don't know how much those cost. I'm sure they're expensive, Beverly. You know, Apple and Google have those glasses with the built-in cameras and stuff. I can believe his dad was KKK because he was a hot mess. Hi, Fit to be flexing. I am drinking champagne tonight. Okay, our third topic. Speaking of the glasses with the cameras, Do y'all think we film too much stuff now? Hi, living life with Ming Lee. Oh, you okay? You on time whenever you get here on time. Oh, we're not going to talk about frugal with my sister. Wait a minute, I drink Kool-Aid now. I had Kool-Aid the other day. I love Kool-Aid. My sister, Fuego, Black Fuego, that's my baby sister. Girl and guys, my sister can squeeze the face off of the dollar. Washington face be so scrunched up. She is beyond frugal. It's three sisters. I'm the oldest. She's the baby. And every now and then you'll see my other sister get in the chat. I forgot what she go by. But I'm the spendthrift. The other two are very frugal, but she's the most frugal out of the three of us. She is so cheap. I would go to her house and she would not be it's in South Carolina. It is too damn hot in South Carolina not to have the AC on. But she'd be like, I'm trying to save on the electric bill. So she wouldn't even have the AC on. I love Kool-Aid. My favorite flavors is the fruit punch one and grape. Ma'am, I was sweating in your house because you were trying to conserve on your electric bill. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Well, my sister got money now. I probably got the least out of the three of us. I guess, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. And I'm sure y'all are going to say that I'm wrong. But I work hard, and so I figure I should be able to have what I want. Okay, so you have a big bank account and you're not here next month. Somebody else gonna spend that money that you work for. I mean, I'm leaving my son a legacy. He's gonna have land. He's gonna have, the rental property. But I'm gonna spend some of that money that I make, y'all. I'm gonna spend it. At one point, it was no lie. I had spent $500 every Sunday at Walmart at one time for like months on end. I mean, like literally for almost a year. It was crazy. Hi, Lisa. I've gotten better. Just like here. Everything is stuff that I already had. And I'm going to show y'all this little area that I did today. Oh, no. I don't want all the flavors together. Oh, you talking about your mom used to do that? My son still swears till this day that I don't put enough sugar in the Kool-Aid. But it's not supposed to be colored sugar water. It's supposed to be Kool-Aid. Okay. So, I got this today, and these are so cute, but they're actually made of paper. I was looking at placemats because I'm trying to do the gold and silver together. I moved the little thing that was over there. You see that mirror there? Okay, so that mirror, I still got boxes, y'all. Don't say nothing. But this has become my favorite little area. Right here when you come down the stairs. So the mirror is going to go up behind it. And so this is a vase that I already had. I just spray painted it gold. That was a vase I already had. I bought the fresh flowers today. And the lamp, you can see that in other videos. But I am really, what they call it? Where you redecorate with the stuff you have in your house. So y'all know my plants. This one I just repotted, so hopefully it'll kick in. It's looking a little sad right now. But this is from that same plant. I love those plants. They are sort of like those plants there. They are easy to grow. But I am doing better by redecorating with the stuff I have in my in-house in storage. Thank you, ma'am. I'm glad that you're wanting to get out the house and do some things. My sister does have MS, and so that does keep her sometimes in the house, but sometimes I think that she's in the house because she's gotten used to being in the house. She would probably disagree with me on that. Y'all know Amazon is my best friend. Thank you, Martin. America's best. You want to see the plants again? Okay, because I have so many. And y'all know I only have the back door and the window in the kitchen. So, I'm going to have Maurice take some of them upstairs. And then I do have some on the ledge over there. And then my big one that I used to call Seymour, I'm going to have it crawling up the wall back there. And I wanted to buy some more, but I haven't. But I'm going to have Maurice put together 2 stands that I bought to go upstairs so that I can put plants, because that's where all the sun is, upstairs in the 2 bedrooms, so that I can put plants up there. But I have become such a plant person since I've gotten older. The reason why there hasn't been any pictures on the wall yet, because as y'all can tell, the walls look immaculate, right? But I think the lady that lived here before, she was military. And a lot of the people that's out here are drill sergeants. So if you've been in the military before, drill sergeants are the ones who train the troops, because we're here at Fort Jackson, and Fort Jackson is a training installation, or training, I want to say base, that's Air Force, post, a training post. So everybody that works out here deal with the troops and training them. So a lot of times when you're a drill sergeant, you're not home a whole lot, which she wasn't, because her electric bill was like $30 and $60. She was never home. So I had contacted the landlord, because at the other place I was at, I could do whatever I wanted. That was a blessing. So I wanted to know if I could put up curtains and things on the walls, and he didn't have a problem with that. So that's why y'all haven't seen where I put stuff on the wall. So Maurice is going to be here for about 9 days, starting next weekend. So I have a honey-do list for him. And so after he leaves, the place will look totally different. He's going to put some stuff up for me. We're going to put some things on the wall. He is, I can't sew a lick. Now, I can cook. I can cook my ass off, but I can't sew. But he is a male that sews. And so I had a sewing machine that I was not using. So I told him he can have it, but he's going to first use it here. So he's going to make my curtains, because I want to pick out the material that I want my curtains. And so he's going to make my curtains. He's going to make me some pillows to go on the couch. By then, I should have some more legs, because if y'all look over here, let me see. Can y'all see that? No, let's see. How I got the camera? Let me see. Okay. Y'all see those legs that are the beige wood legs? I just bought those from Lowe's, because the couch is too low. And so it makes my knees hurt. That's why I'm sitting in the chair. So that brings it up to a good place where you can sit on the couch. And because at first I was just to the point that I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell this couch or get rid of it and buy me a new black couch to put in here. And then I was like, let me check and see if I can get some more legs. And so, yeah. I ordered some more. They should be here. Some should be here tomorrow, but I ordered those black. So we're going to raise the couch up. And so he's going to do some of the things, help me do some of the things that I got so much for him to do in 9 days. We're going to work on some things over at the condo. I've been looking at some videos on, I want to do a faux wall in the condo. We're going to work on the bathroom because things are just costing so much. So I'm going to see how much of the bathroom we can do before I have to bring somebody else in, and work on some stuff around here. So yeah, but it's coming along slowly but surely. Yeah, I'm trying to get the downstairs together, and then I'll start on the upstairs. Oh, most definitely, Martina. Most definitely. I am reusing what I have because y'all know I had a lot. So, yeah. It's just that when I went with a different color theme, it kind of changed stuff. But I'm looking at how I can be a little bit more eclectic with what I have and make the colors go together. It may not be the same pattern because when you're born, I don't know if people notice this. If you was born in the 60s and the 50s and stuff, do you have this thing where you like for all the colors to go together? Like if you're doing red or blue or orange or purple, whatever, you want everything to be in that same color theme, sort of like even with your clothes. If you're wearing a red top, you're going to have something else red if it's your earrings or your shoes or whatever. I raised my son like that, and I hate that I did that because now he has to be matchy-matchy. And things don't have to be matchy-matchy. They can be in the same color family, but different patterns. It's okay. It took me a while to get out of that. What happened to y'all in my chat? I don't see no chat. Are y'all talking to me? Where you at? Okay. Well, I could get inside of my lip. Oh, kind of bad too. Well, you were listening. Where is everybody else? I don't see nobody else in the chat. And that's the thing. You can redecorate. Take something from the bedroom, put it in the living room. Take something from the bathroom, put it in another room. Beverly, I'm telling you what. I'm so glad I don't have small children anymore. I had washed with my son the other day. And I don't know if I told you, I don't know who I was telling, that I had a bed full of clothes. I told him, I was like, when was the last time you washed? But I was looking at my grandson's clothes, and I was like, oh my God. He had so many clothes, and I was the one that bought the majority of them. I'm just like, okay, sir, you good on winter clothes. We would be looking at buying you a couple of things for the summer. Oh, they buy their own clothes. But hey, if they're buying their own clothes, I used to like clothes so much that when I was in the military, I would spend my paycheck on buying clothes, but I knew that they was going to feed me breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so, and they paid for a roof over my head so I could do that. My son is the total opposite of me. Maybe because I had so much stuff in the house. He's very much a minimalist when it comes to decorating. When it comes to clothes, he could care less. He believes that we should be naked, which I don't agree with that. But yeah, he's very much a minimalist, and he's like his auntie. He's very tight with money. But they're tight with money until it's something that they want. Like my sister is very much a techie person. So any of the new gadgets and stuff that come out, which are expensive, she will buy those. And before she got MS, she was a shoe fanatic. I used to call her Peg Bundy. My sister was gonna wear them heels that were like 4 and 5 inches. Oh yeah, she was gonna wear them 5 inch heel shoes. I was a clothes person. I've always been a clothes person. But now her, I was like, I didn't even know how she was wearing them. We go out, and I used to call her Peg, and here she go, tiptoeing in them 5 inch heel shoes. Oh, 6 inch heel shoes. I'm sorry, ma'am. I can barely do 3 inch heel shoes. But 6 inch heel shoes, oh my gosh, no. I seen what's her name? Oh, she's an old actress too now. Glenn Close had on some 6 inch heel shoes at a program. I was like, ma'am, how old is she now? Well, who can run in 6 inch heel shoes? Oh, and you could run in them. Okay. Go on with your bad self. You ain't never seen me in 6 inch. I don't even think if I ever wore 4 inch. I might, no, I don't think so. Even back in my 20s, I think 3 inch might have been the most. I loved a good pump. Oh my gosh, a pointy toe pump was my favorite shoe. It makes your legs look so nice. There was something I was going to say, and now I totally forgot what it was. Dang it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Don't you hate that? When you're thinking about something, and it just goes. I hate to say it, I am now in the grandma in the orthopedic shoes. Hey, Joan Crawford, I love period clothes. So like when I was in Korea, you could get anything made. Parker. Paula, you want to know if you look good in pumps? When I was in Korea, you could get anything you wanted made. So I used to take Vogue magazines downtown and just have them, I was much tinier too, and make me clothes. So I always loved the 1920s. I love the 1800s. Even though I didn't see, they now show black people in 1800s, but back in the day, I didn't see us. But I love the 1800s. I love the big poofy dresses with the wire hoop things underneath and all that, and the thing on the back. Now I could walk in high heels. I never wore tennis shoes. I always had just one pair of tennis shoes, and they were more like for, you just had to have a pair. My whole wardrobe was dresses and heels. I love dressing up. I love being a female. I love the whole thing about wearing heels. Oh my gosh. I'm so behind in the chat right here on my phone. Let me see. We're going to take just an idea. Well, yeah, I'm with you, Recessionista. I wear more sports stuff. Parker, get down. Yeah, Tashana, I love that time. But I was always a high heel and dress up type of person. I always wore dresses. My sister said that people used to want to know if we were some type of religion because I wore dresses all the time in high school. I had nice legs. So I wore dresses, but I was raised on dresses. When I say this, I am. Oh, your auntie girlfriend wants to say hi. Come here. Your auntie girlfriend wants to say hi. Come here. Say hi to your auntie girlfriend. Say hi, auntie girlfriend. Hi. He just does not like being on camera. He does not. But yeah, I am very much the high heel. I am like the feminine female. I love perfume. No, you're not having no champagne. I love perfume. I love dresses. I love heels. I love dressing up. I love going out to a great meal dressed up, to a function dressed up. I mean, I really love that. Yeah, I wear a lot of tennis shoes now. And I wear a lot of orthopedic shoes, but I try to make them cute. Y'all hold on. Gotta take a bathroom break. Parker, you wanna take over? You wanna be the sponsor? Get down, get down, get down. Stop. What was I going to say? What you doing, little dog? Stop, 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 stop. Did you? Parker, I done unplugged my phone. Some people don't want me to come to their beauty party for fear I was going to. What does that smell like, the Versace? Oh, now I love a good pair of Converses in spring and summer. I've never smelled that perfume. That's one of them $300 bottles of perfume, isn't it, Recessionista? And I love me some good Converses. I have them in yellow, red, white, gold. I don't think I have blue and green. But yeah, and I'll probably go ahead and get my, now the springtime is coming up, I'll get me my white pair. And maybe this year I'll get green and blue. Oh, and I have pink. I do have pink. Glenn Close is 77. And she had on some 6-inch heel shoes. I'm going to tip my hat off to her. Uh-oh. Smell like you sell real estate? Oh, let me tell you something. You remember the jellies? When they had, now see, now jellies are different. When they first came out, You had the closed-in pair of jellies. And let me tell you something. In South Carolina, jellies don't hold up well. I bought me some jellies off of, it might have been Temu. Or, no. They used to have this site called Zuli. Zuli. Zulily. And it was like a big store where it was a site that had different stores on the site. So you could buy from clothes to comforters and all this stuff. And matter of fact, QVC bought it over. So all the stuff I used to buy on QVC, I could buy on there. And so when I like something, I'll buy multiple of it. So I had bought all these jelly sandals because, jellies came back. And so I was working 2 summers ago. And I had went to I was working at a female recovery home. So I had wore my jellies one day. By the time I got from the car to the inside the house, the things had melted and popped, and all I had was the bottom. One shoe was still working, the other one was gone. Yeah, Zuli is gone now. I hate that. I think I bought this from Zuli. Let me tell you something. My wardrobe came from Zuli, and I never seen anybody wearing it. I still wear stuff now till this day that people are like, where did you get that from? I hate that Zuli is gone. QVC should have never messed with it. You know what? Where's Chris at? And where's Martina? What y'all doing tonight? Yeah, I'm like, where is Martina and Chris? Zuli is back. I pulled it up a couple of days ago, Recessionista. It is not back. Are you sure? All right, Recessionista, you are now a moderator. You should show up blue. Okay, no, Are y'all talking about Zuli or are you talking about me? Okay, you will be the wrench of justice because I don't know what's going on with my mods tonight, and I lost a couple that used to be my mods. They don't be on here like they used to, so I needed another mod. So there you go, Recessionista. Keep me in check. Usually Lovecraft will keep me in check, but Martina is my other brain. Martina, when is your birthday? If she is still here, when is your birthday? And y'all tell Martina she is our subscriber for the month. She is so supportive. Like I said, she is my second brain. Whenever I can't remember stuff, she always gets it on point. For us to have never met each other, and she's 10 years older than me, she keeps me in check. So thank you, Martina. Love you, love you, love you. You are here the majority of the time, Recessionista. And Tashana, I didn't pick you because you're Eric's sub. I mean, Mama, Lord, y'all know I'm just mucking it up tonight. Moderator, so I didn't know how many times you want to be somebody's mod. But if you want to be a mod, you know you can be a mod, Tashana. Okay, so moving on. You want to be one of my mods, Fuego? I'm gonna need you to give me just as much attention as you give what's that lady that you watch all the time? I want to see how many people might watch her. What's her name? Martin, did you see that you was sub of the month? When is your birthday? I heard you telling Arabs that you're... Oh, how many people watch Kendra live? Or the Kendra show? My sister is hooked. She does a show where she helps people hook up with each other. It's like you come on and you tell the people what type of person you want. Okay, so Tachana's drinking with me tonight. I know Fuego was drinking before I started drinking. And that's why I left. I had ran out and my other bottle done froze, so I had to go get the other one that was in the refrigerator. My sister loves that show. So, I was watching a documentary about stars who have decided to go on OnlyFans platform, right? So I was thinking, shoot, me and Maurice can do an OnlyFans. And I was thinking, men who like fluffy women. Oh, you got your White Claw. You are in love with that White Claw now. Has anybody else tried White Claw? I've seen it, but it's she likes kind of dry stuff, kind of bitter stuff. So this is what I was thinking. I was thinking, would y'all come and subscribe if me and Maurice did an OnlyFans? It's not a sexual show. I thought we could call it the Or Experience of a younger man dating an older fluffy woman and their romance. What do y'all think? Tashana, feet are in. Let me tell you something. Feet are in. I didn't know that feet was in. I really didn't. I went to Jamaica. And so I was sitting on the beach and I just took a picture of like my knees and my feet down. And I posted it because I was on a dating site. Y'all know I was on Facebook dating. And so if y'all didn't, I was on Facebook dating. Okay. Oh, Quinn. Okay, Quinn, your birthday is the 23rd. Okay. So, oh, hey, Lovecraft. Nice of you to join us. So I put it on my profile, and I had so many men. They were tripping on the feet thing. So then I would post like if I had changed my toenail polish. They was tripping. And so I went on YouTube, not YouTube, but I was on Facebook to see how many people have feet profiles. Feet are in. Did y'all know that feet were in? Hey, you and Charlie can make some pictures of feet. I think I have pretty feet too. I do have a little fluff. My feet are a little fluffy. Hi, BG. Oh, Quinn, your boyfriend is 23. How old are you? Oh, look at Recessionista. Roll some oranges with the feet. I mean, really, feet are in. You can put it in pudding. You can put it in water. You can roll oranges. You can oil them down. You can change the toenail polish. They pay big money in feet. They really do. Who would think? So I told Oris, oh, you what? Stop, Quinn. You're 73 and your boyfriend is 23. A girl, a woman. I give you the high five. What y'all think of that? What do y'all think of a 73-year-old woman dating a 23-year-old man? Now, we know that there are men who date women that young. What do y'all think of an older woman dating a man that young? You said he wouldn't leave you alone? Quinn, y'all should do a YouTube page. That's a big gap. What's that? 23 to... What is that, 50, 60-year-old gap? I only posed the question because last week when I told y'all about the female who wanted to sleep with 1,000 men in 1,000 days, y'all just dragged her. Oh, thank you, Janice. Thank you, Janice. So, Martin, are you saying you're going to get you a young man? Look at Martin trying to live on the edge. Must be that birthday coming up. Okay, where is... Hey, I love me some fishnets. Your mother disapproves? How old is your mama? Oh my gosh. So we have to remember Martin's birthday is the 18th. Let me tell you something. This is what I found. Y'all have longevity in your family. Your mother is 98. Wow. Margie said, you think she wants him? See? I tell men every day that women can have sex till they die. We can. I think that's the curse they got. We might have went in the garden and talked to Satan and ate whatever fruit it was. And we got, cramps and labor pains and all this stuff like that. But men's, what their consequences was, they can't have sex till they die. Oh, we know you joking, Queen. Because I tell you what, it just depends on the lifestyle. Because I dated a guy, and it's so crazy. I told y'all I'm a person that likes to live on the wild side. My sister would tell you I was the wild one. Even though people thought she was the wild one, I really was the wild one. So I was in a club one night that I used to go to, and I heard that this guy used to be a pimp, right? I didn't know he was a pimp. He offered to buy me a drink. I said, yeah. He was sitting at the table. And then I had somebody else come and tell me, like, oh, you know he used to be a pimp. Or he was a pimp. Or he is a pimp or something like that. And I'm like, first of all, he's too old. And I'm too old for me to let him pimp me. Okay? So, now he was a hustler till the day he died. He never had a job. He was a hustler. He started out protecting women, like he would walk them. He said he was walking home one night, and a prostitute asked him, say, hey, will you walk with me so I could get home safely? And that became his job in the beginning. He began to walk not just her, but other prostitutes home, and they paid him. So then from there, he became a pimp. He never had a regular job. He was either pimping or hustling, playing cards and stuff like that. So when I met him, he was in his 60s. I was in my, I want to say my 30s when I met him. It was about a 30-year difference. And, okay, I don't even know who Rob Peoples is, but that is weird. Oh, y'all got rid of him? Okay. That was weird. So, that just messed me all up, that little Rob Peoples thing. So people are like, don't date him because he used to be a pimp. The only thing that did was excite me that he used to be a pimp, because y'all know my whole thing is I get caught up in stuff because I'm thinking about the behavioral side of it, because of that psychological thing that I got going on about human nature and all this stuff. So I wanted to get to know him. He was not a drinker. He never drank. He never smoked. This man, I want to say he was like 66 when I met him. Didn't have no problems with having sex. None whatsoever. The only problem I had with him was that he wasn't going to eat no coochie. He was like a no on that, but hey. And so he thought that I was the craziest woman that he ever met. He used to be like, because I was not somebody that he could conform. I did what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, and I hooked up with him when I felt like it. But he was an interesting character. He really was. Oh, Tashana. Girl, them eggs would have still been in the store. $6? No, ma'am. I know they said eggs was having their... I don't know what it is. Eggs have been having an issue for the last couple of years. You know what? I can go without eggs. I got eggs in my refrigerator now, and I hate to say it, but they might be out of date. Because I'll buy a dozen because I feel like I want boiled eggs, or I'm making something with eggs, and then I don't use the rest. But I was just like, no, sir. That was my only issue with him. I thought you meant lick it before you stick it, recessionista versus pick it. But he was from the old school. But I say that to say, I think it's all in how men take care of themselves. Like I'm always telling Maurice, I'm like, man, you need to drink some water, eat some vegetables, because right now he's 56. So he's like, 6 years younger than me. But I was like, that shit could easily twist because women outlive men. So even with him being 6 years younger than me, the odds are good that I will still outlive him because he don't take care of himself. I was like, you don't, he's a hard worker, but I'm like, you don't eat healthy. You know, I don't drink hard liquor anymore. I'm just like, hey. Where are you at, Tashana? I'm going to say this. Y'all know I pay $10 for my cigarettes. But I'm going to pay $10 for the cigarettes, and I'm going to give up eggs. Just going to give the eggs up. I buy eggs. A lot of times I give them for Parker because, it's protein for him, and he likes boiled eggs. But, hey, we might have to buy the ones that's already boiled. They might be a little bit cheaper. What'd you say, Beverly? Everybody is not equipped to do that. Okay, well, you know what? There won't be no egg eating for me. Get the already boiled eggs. Oh, you in Kentucky? Okay, so we know not to go egg shopping in Kentucky, y'all. What did you say, Martina? I seen you say something earlier about some eggs. So you paying $6 and you don't even use the yolk. That's even worse. Buy some of that egg substitute. That might be cheaper. But and that's another thing for those people who are not on the road like Tashana and them. For those of us who are not, see, Tashana and Charlie are traveling, so they get to see what things cost in a whole bunch of states. But for those of us who are local, you might want to check with your local farmers and see about getting your eggs straight from the farm, because I guarantee they'll be cheaper. And you can buy. I'm not dealing with no chickens and roosters, but you can go and get you some eggs from a local farmer, and that's cheaper. Martha, I can see your messages. Well, Quinn, you gonna leave us for your little 23-year-old? Tell him I said join the chat. I want to know what he thinks about dating a woman your age. Do you think that younger men date older women because they are more established and have more resources? Or do you think they really date them because they enjoy being with them? What y'all think in the chat? Thank you, whoever got rid of Dizzy King. Because when you're an older woman, you sometimes think that the younger men just want you because of what you have already going. Hi, Smokes. But I think older women bring a lot to the table. Not just their resources. What y'all think? Thank you, Recessionista. What do you mean people are too desperate for a person, Martina? I don't understand what you mean, Martina, because I don't think people are desperate for a person. I think that why is my glasses bothering people? I like my yellow glasses. I think that, first of all, if you want to go the biblical side of it, God created man. Then he decided that after he created all the animals, that he forgot to create somebody for Adam. And he decided that man needed a significant other also. And so I don't think people are desperate for other people. I think that that's the natural way of things. That you are created to be with another person. But that's not how God created us. All right, you good, Dizzy King? You good? God didn't create us to be by ourselves. He created us to be with another person. So for us to be by ourselves is actually against the norm. I think that people decide to be by themselves for whatever their personal reasons are, but I don't think that's how we're created to be. I am very much an advocate of people finding their person. I think that a healthy, and this is, y'all know I like to throw statistics out there, but I'll give you numbers if you want me to look up. Statistically, the happiest people are two people together without children. There's nothing wrong with having a significant other. I think that when people decide they want to be by themselves, it's because of either they lost the person that they were with, or there was something, they got a divorce, or there was a bad relationship, or they haven't had a good relationship. Being with another person is a job. You have to work at it. Uh-oh. Parker? Parker. It is too late for you to be out there barking. I don't know what's up with my yellow glasses tonight. People are not liking them, Shoshana. I like my yellow glasses. I think that having somebody else in your life that you feel happy with and comfortable with is one of the most awesome things in the world. I really do. We can all choose to be by ourselves. But when we choose to share our life with somebody else, that's the part that makes it awesome. We know how to live by ourselves. We're with ourselves every day. The challenge comes when you learn how to live with somebody else. And the beautiful part is if you find somebody that you love and they love you, that is awesome. I talk to my sister a lot about my relationships, whether she wants to hear them or not. And Beverly, there's nothing wrong with enjoying your space and freedom and being alone. It's not that you need the other person. Hey, Princess Diva M. It's not a need necessarily. It is the fact that you're sharing your life with somebody. Okay, I don't know how old everybody is in the chat, but as you get older, relationships become way more important than things, right? And so the beautiful part of getting older is finding your person that you can share your last years with and have experiences with, right? You can be by yourself and you can have friends, but at the end of the day, you go home by yourself, right? And so one of the things that I found, and I do a lot of research on these things on the side, I don't always discuss it with you guys or other people, but the fact that we have such a high population of men, they are saying that during this season now, this is the first time in years, and maybe it's because it's being reported more, that we have so many men who are by themselves, who are lonely. Do you know that there are people who don't get a hug, a kiss, or somebody saying something nice to them on any given day for years on end? Um, Coming out of a relationship is different, Beverly. When I got divorced, I was married 18 years. When I got divorced, I took a few years, to kind of not really date, just be by myself and get myself together because I thought that I needed to let go of whatever baggage I had from that previous relationship before I moved into a new one. There's nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is people who decide that they no longer want to have anybody else in their life, I think they need to look at why they've made that decision. Having another person in your life is not a need. I think of it as a want. I think of it as something that if you really look at it, if you look over your life and look at the times where you were in a healthy relationship with another person, how you felt and how you did things, and where you're a productive person, I find that I'm extremely productive when I have a great significant partner. But then, I can be productive by myself. It's not that I can't. It's just that my state of mind, my health, how I feel about things is at a heightened state. And I look at this honestly, and it has nothing to do with the age of the person that I'm with. Like Quinn, she's 73, her boyfriend is 23. Just like she said, he makes her feel good. When you're with somebody that makes you feel good about who you are, you feel better about yourself. Not that you felt bad about yourself before they got with you. It just heightens that point. And I know everybody's not going to agree with me, but I think that me being with somebody else makes me a better person. I do. And it's taken me a long time to get to this point to say this, because if you had asked me 30 years ago, I was that woman that said that you didn't need a man, you're okay by yourself, blah, 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 blah. See, Princess Diva M, it's not that you don't want somebody. It's just that the men that you encounter play too many games, and so because of that, it makes you want to be by yourself. See, that's what I want y'all to look at. It's not that you necessarily want to be by yourself. It's just that the people you're interacting with make you want to be by yourself. Not all men are like that. There may be a lot of men like that, but not all men. Not all men. And you know what? My sisters, both of them would tell you. Matter of fact, the one that's on here tonight, she was the one that told me about Facebook dating. I had no idea that Facebook had a dating site. So, I think it was during COVID she told me about it. And so I got on Facebook dating. I had to go through a lot of frogs. A lot of frogs. A lot of frogs. But also in the interim, I met guys who were okay, but they had issues that I wasn't willing to deal with. It wasn't that they were bad people. Excuse me. It's just that the things that they were dealing with, I had already passed, or they were dealing with things that I wasn't willing to deal with where they were at. And that's okay. It's not that they were bad individuals, it's just that I wasn't there where they were at. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Reese is far from perfect. Far from perfect. And he would tell you that. But we have a good relationship, even with the ins and outs. And I tell my sister about it. And even she says, he just hadn't gotten to fully where he needs to be. But underneath all that, he's a decent guy. He doesn't disrespect me. Um, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it to you. It's just other than the fact that I was willing, and you have to be willing. It's up to each individual person. I was willing to continue until I felt that I met my person. Right now, I feel like he's my person. But if it doesn't work out, I'm not going to regret the time we spent together. I'm not. Because you know what? I will feel like this is the person that I was supposed to be with during this time, and I'm supposed to get something out of it. I don't want to go through this life not enjoying every aspect of it because of something that happened in my past. It's easy to do that. The things that happen in our past will dictate what we're going to do in our future. But what I'm trying to do is that, okay, so the last relationship didn't work. Well, it didn't work for whatever reason it didn't work. But that doesn't mean that every man is like that man. Hi, Edward. Happy Saturday to you. You know what I'm saying? We have to be able to. Okay, let me say this. As far as I know, this is the only life that we get, right? In this flesh, in this body. I know there are people who believe in reincarnation, but even in that, you're not coming back as the same person, right? So if this is the only time I'm going to have in this body as it is, I'm going to try to enjoy as many moments of it as I can. There's going to be good moments, bad moments, frustrating, sad, unhappy, all the emotions, right? But I'm not going to let my past dictate my future unless it's a positive thing. So if I had a bad relationship 2 weeks ago, I'm not going to let the man that I meet 4 weeks from now be put in a position that I'm going to judge him by the other person. Am I making sense? We deal with people. In relationships, we deal with people. Everybody's different. You're not going to meet two people who are the same. I don't care if that person reminds you of the other person. They are still a different total person, right? So we need to be able to be in a situation where we can be open and free enough to say, okay, this didn't work for this reason, blah, 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 blah. This is a whole new situation. And if it doesn't work, it's because of this reason, blah, 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 blah. I don't expect y'all to understand that or even agree with me on that, because even my sisters don't on that. Most people would say, why haven't you quit trying to find your person? Hey, let me tell you something. I was married 18 years and my my ex was a hoe. A straight up hoe. I never messed around on him, not one day. Not one day. Why? It didn't have to do with him. It had to do with me and the commitment I made that day on my marriage day with God. It wasn't just with him, but it was with me, him, and God. And I could have messed around, but was that going to change my situation? No, it wasn't. I had to decide that I wanted to change my situation. And when I did that, that's when I decided to be with somebody else. I have never been that type of woman that messed around on the person that I'm with. If I need to mess around on you, then it's time for me to leave you. That's just how I am. Thank you, Recessionista. All men are not the same, Recessionista. All people are not the same. Hi, Queen Supreme. And I wish, you know what I pray for? My sister is such a loving person. Black Fuego, that just made the comment, is my sister. I pray that she finds somebody that will love her for her. And that's all we all want, is for us to find somebody that loves us for who we are, exactly where we are right now. And that's what you have to say when you get with a person. If they never change, can I love them exactly who they are today at that point? And my thing is this: I'm not perfect, and I'm not going to meet a perfect guy. He's going to come with some issues and some baggage and a whole bunch of crap that I may not want to deal with all of it. But I get to decide what I want to deal with. So is he carrying too much shit for me to deal with? Then that's not the guy for me. But if he's dealing with stuff that I'm saying, okay, this is stuff that he's going to be able to work through, hopefully, but maybe not. Even if he doesn't change not one iota, I'm willing to deal with him exactly how he is for the rest of my life. Because he's looking at me saying he's going to deal with me exactly with whatever issues I bring to the table for the rest of my life. That's just how I am. I have not always been this way. This has been growth. This has been me learning who I am and being secure in who I am. You know what? You are a lot stronger than you realize you are. And I know about your last relationship, and I think that that has hindered you on a certain point. I think you have a lot of love to give, and whoever gets you will definitely have to be an awesome person, because they're getting an awesome person. And I say that because that was my road dog for many years, many years. Lord, I think me and Tashana could write a damn book. But even in that, can you imagine if Tashana had said, I'm not going to give Charlie a chance because of all the bullshit that the guy I was married to gave me? Where would she be now? She would not be in the relationship she is in with Charlie. I'm not trying to make you cry. I just know that you're an awesome woman. I know that you are. And you have a lot of love to give. And you don't say it. I know you don't say it. And I know sometimes you get lonely. And I always want the best for you. Don't ever get that twisted. I don't care if we fall in and out as sisters. I'm always going to want the best for you. And I do not, as my baby sister, want you to live the rest of your life being by yourself. I do not. But even us being ladies and men, no matter how bad another partner has been, does not dictate how the next person will be. Don't ever stop your life when it comes to love because of the last individual. Just like Tashana said, that guy was preparing her for Charlie. Who knows what Charlie was going through before he met Tashana? But he was the guy for her. And he might have been saying, hey, I'm waiting for that one woman that I can give true love to. And he met her, and he was able to help. Even though she was healing her wounds before she met him, I guarantee Tashana would tell you that being with Charlie has helped to heal the wounds of the bullshit that the guy before him did. There is nothing wrong with taking time in between relationships to get yourself back together. That's not what I'm saying, y'all. I'm not saying that. I took time, even in the dating thing. I looked at it as, I'm meeting. I had to get myself back used to dating when you've been married or in a relationship for a long period of time, you have to get yourself back acclimated to dating, because dating, oh my gosh, dating had changed. I got married in 2003. So dating had changed when I got back out there. And I really thought that I was not a viable woman because, one, I was older. I didn't have my cuteness like I did back in my 20s and my 30s and my 40s and even my early 50s. I had gained weight because of the stress of my relationship. Just with getting older, that's a whole big thing in itself. I had gained weight. I was looking at myself like, who wants an older, really, who wants an older fat woman? That's how I looked at it. But then I kept saying to myself, if I look at myself as an older fat woman, then who is going to want an older fat woman? I bring a lot to the table. I may not have the shape of a 20-year-old. I may not have the looks that I had in my 20s. But damn it, I bring a whole hell of a lot to the table than a 20-year-old or even a cute 20-year-old. And once I got past that hump, and you know what? Thank you, Charlie, for sticking in there for 2 years. But once I got past the hump of realizing that, okay, age ain't gonna change. I don't care how much I may not like being 50, 60 or whatever, it ain't gonna change. You just gonna get older. Okay, so you're in your, I think I was in my late 50s. Yeah, I was about 56. About 56, about where, 55, 56, somewhere in there. It wasn't going to change. I was just going to get older. I could lose the weight, but I was still going to be an older female. I had the love to learn. Lord. Yeah, okay. Champagne kicking in. I had the love to learn me where I was at. Thank you, Seneca. I had to love to learn me where I was at. And so I had to realize that I'm not 20 anymore, but that's okay. I love me at 50. I'm a brilliant, awesome 50-year-old at the time when this all started. And they brought a lot to the table. Now I'm 62. Things have changed. My hair is thinning. The weight thing, well, we ain't gonna talk about the weight thing because it's an up and down thing. I don't look like I was 20. The teeth are acting crazy. It's just the knees, the back. It's a whole lot that goes on as you get older. But you know what? Even with all that, I'm still a viable woman at 62. I'm a viable woman at 62. And guess what? I ain't missed a beat when it comes to men. Men don't look at the same crap that women look at. They don't. I mean, y'all seen Maurice? He's a handsome younger man. He could be with any woman he wanted to be with. But you know what? I know that even with his looks and what he may bring to the table, I bring more. And he ain't gonna meet no woman better than me. He is not. And he's realized that. He's not. Because with age comes wisdom. I'm a woman who's established. I have a lot going on with me when it comes to when you want to look at materialistic things. But also, I know how to treat a man. I know also how to encourage a man to reach his goals and dreams, to be a good partner. And we ain't even gonna talk about the sex part, okay? We ain't gonna talk about that because I'm awesome at that too. So what I'm saying is, don't sell yourself short. Do not sell yourself short. I don't care where you're at in life. You are bringing something to the table that another woman or another man is not. So when you start looking at what your past relationships were, how it didn't work out and all that, that's a done deal. It's over with. It ain't here no more, okay? If that was the greatest love of your life and they're no longer here, I want you to look at it like this. Do you think your partner, who is no longer here, would go the rest of their life by themselves? And do you think if they loved you the way you feel they loved you, would they want you to go the rest of your life by yourself? The answer would probably be no to both. So when you get to a place where you feel like you want to venture out and try dating again, I think you should do that. But put precautions in. Get yourself prepared mentally, physically, and emotionally. Dating has changed probably since the last time you dated. It has. It just simply has. And even if 89% of the men in the world are asses, that still leaves quite a few that are not. And see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I always say Tashana and Charlie are my favorite couple. Not just because of how honest she is with us, and I don't know if Charlie always wants her to be as honest as she is with us, but the fact that they are a young couple and she's telling us, and that should give hope for anybody, because we all can be asses in a relationship. But Charlie chose to love her exactly where she was with what she was dealing with. He chased her for 2 years, and even after he got her, he may not have realized all the shit he was going to have to go through with her once he got her. He might have been just chasing her because men like to chase. And then he got her and was like, oh, hell, I didn't know I was going to have to go through all this. But that's what real love is. That's unconditional love, meaning I'm going to deal with you where you're at because I really want to be a part of your life. And that's what you have to decide. Is this person worthy of being in my life? Because if they're not, then you're wasting your time. But if you feel like they are and they feel like you are, then that's when the work starts. To me, the most beautiful thing is for me to be about 80-something years old and my mate, close to 80. And we're on the porch and we're talking about the grandkids and the kids and the world and all this stuff. And, life is just what it is. It is what it is. We have a healthy relationship. And a healthy relationship means that we can be in the house with each other all day long and we don't even have to really talk, but we feel comfortable because both of us are in the home together. We don't have to have sex every day, but we are comfortable with going to bed with each other knowing that the other person is there. I feel safe. I feel comfortable. I trust you with my children like you trust me with your children. Whether my family or friends like you or not, I know you got my back, and you know I got your back. We are here for each other through the good and the bad. And you got to see each other through the good and the bad. That's the part of a relationship. You got to see how the other person is going to act when it's bad. Because we can all act great when it's good. But how do they act when it's bad? That's why I say relationships are work. They are work. Even when it comes to Parker, I like to see whether or not he gets along with a person. And to be honest, there's only been 2 men that he's gotten along with, and I like both of them. One I couldn't stay with because he had some issues that I didn't care for. I have grands too, but you know what happens with grands? At some point, they grow up just like our children and they live their life. And we want the best. You know, it's funny how we can want the best for our children and our grandchildren. We want them to find love and have a significant other, but then we put ourselves to the side. We cannot live our lives through our children or our grandchildren. They are their own individuals, and they're going to grow and live their lives the best way that they know how with our guidance. And what we don't understand is that they want us to be happy too. If you are a person that is totally happy with being by yourself and you feel like you never want a significant other, that's okay. I'm not telling you that's wrong. All I'm saying is, don't close out the possibility of meeting someone. Because you never know when you might meet someone. It could be when you least expect it. Just don't put up such a big enough fence that nobody can climb over it. Don't put up such a guard that nobody can get through it. Just leave the possibility of meeting somebody open and still live your life. That's all I'm saying. I ain't getting no comments now. Y'all mad at me? Y'all know I love you. I want everybody that ever comes to my channel to be happy, and regardless of whatever state you're in. It's an individual choice. Well, Tim, if you think it's gross, then maybe this isn't the chat for you. Maybe it's not. You know, I love Sandy and Chris. I love the fact that they will come on and they'll talk about their differences and the things that are common for them, and they're growing their family. They have a son. I love all that because both of our married couples are young couples, but they're doing it. And so my thing is, if they can do it, then why those of us who are older, why is it that we have become so cynical that we can't do it? Or why have we become so, I don't know, so distrusting that we won't allow it? You know, as you get older, you can either become more open to things in life, or you can become more closed to things in life. I think a lot of us become more closed versus open. I am not a person without fault. My sister would tell you. Hopefully she would tell you that I've gotten better over the years. Because I was a hot ass mess some years ago. I was. But the more I have learned to appreciate life and who I am and the importance of being here versus not being here has allowed me to be able to have the ability to love when love is accessible, and when it's not, to deal with it when it's not. I have gotten better. Thank you, ma'am. I have gotten better. I really try to see people where they're at and what they have going on. I can tolerate more because I've experienced more, you know. All right, Martina. Good night. You know, as you get older, you realize that there are things that are important and things that are not. And to me, relationships are the most important thing for me right now. And going to the restroom. I don't know what Parker is doing outside tonight, but he is really, get out from underneath there. Come in here and entertain the people while I'm going to the bathroom. Entertain the peoples. Get out. Alright, sorry peoples. Parker didn't entertain y'all. Yeah, Parker was pretty shitty at entertaining people, wasn't he? And you know what, Tashana? I was wild my whole life, and I'm still adventurous too. There's nothing wrong with being adventurous. That's what makes life fun. I never, you know what? All the years that I was in the military, people played chess around me. I could never get into chess. And I don't know, it was something about me. I could play cards because it was exciting, you talk shit and all that stuff. But chess was more of an intellectual game. And for some reason, I just could not get into it. It was just like, every time people tried to show me how to play it, I was just like, it was boring. I just couldn't do it. I still to this day don't know how to play chess. I cannot wait either, Tashana. You are just like my younger version. Okay, ma'am. Yes, you was wild. I might have been a little bit wilder, but you was wild. Seneca, I don't even know where you coming from with all that, but we will not be wild together at all. No, 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 no. Let me just say this to y'all. And sometimes I get on my soapbox and I do my own little little way of preaching. But let me say this. Life is short. And being able to love is an awesome gift. And that means being able to love your family, your children, other people, all that. It's an awesome gift. And a lot of times we get tainted with the experiences that we have in life, and it stifles us from being able to give the love that we really have inside of us. Because I truly believe that we all want to love somebody. It might have started from childhood, where you were raised in a family that didn't give you the love you needed, to where you are now. You're my age and you don't know how to. The one thing that I always wanted, that I can remember from even a young age, was to be able to finally find a person that could love me for exactly who I was. Whether I was in my mode of being the big mouth loud woman, which I still can be, to the older woman who has changed over time. I just want them to accept me 100% for who I am and say, hey, you're not perfect, but I can deal with you wherever you're at. To me, that's my person. And I think we all want that. I think we all want somebody who will be able to deal with us exactly where we are at the time that they meet us. And if we change in the process of time, great. But if we don't, they're still going to love us unconditionally. And when you start talking about unconditional love, that's where most people get off. They jump the train and they get off at that spot. Because unconditional love is extremely hard. It is. That's why when you start talking about unconditional love, most people start talking about God. Because we know God can love us unconditionally, but can other people? And when you love somebody unconditionally, it means that you got to get past your bullshit to be able to love them. Because most of us are so caught up in our own bullshit. That's the reason why we can't love. We so busy still trying to figure ourselves out. And that's the one relationship. I don't even know how long I've been on here tonight. Oh, it's 11. I'm going to end with this. The one relationship that you should work on at 100%, 150, 200% is the relationship you have with yourself. Before you leave here, you should know exactly who you are, how you are, how you act, your behavior, your interactions with other people, and why you do the things you do. That's the one thing that we don't want to deal with. We rather talk about everybody else, deal with everything else, than deal with ourselves. And that's the person you're with at 100% all the time. You can never leave you. You can leave any relationship in the world that you want, but the one you cannot leave is you. And until you learn you and know what makes you tick, what makes you act the way you act and do the things you do, love the way you love, all those things. Until you can get there, you can never love anybody else at 100% because you ain't got to the point where you can love you at 100%. I love me at 100%, all the good, the bad, and all the indifferent. But I started this journey in my 30s. I'm 62. It's taken 30-something years for me to get to this place. That's why I can say the things that I say. But if I leave here tomorrow, I'm not unhappy with the woman that I ended up being. Because it took all that bullshit to get me to this point. It took all the stuff that happened prior to get me to this point. And I'm happy with her. So that's why I can say that I want somebody else in my life because I'm happy with who I am at this point in my life. This is the best season. I think I've told y'all this before. My later years have been the best seasons of my whole entire life. And that, to me, is an awesome journey. When you can get to a point that you love you for exactly who you are, everything about you, and you can accept everybody else. When you can love you for all your shortcomings, it makes it easy for you to love other people and their shortcomings. Ooh, Tashana, I love that. She is absolutely right. There are no bunk beds in a coffin. And there's nothing wrong if you're still working on it. Beverly, if you're working on it, that's the plus. You're working on it. It's when you ignore it and choose not to work on it. You gotta love yourself. You have got to. And so I implore you guys in 2025, let that be one of the things that you're working on. You. Being able to accept you for everything about you and being honest with yourself. You can't lie to yourself. You can, but it don't help you. And that's what, people always say half and a half makes a whole. That's not what it is. It's a whole person here and a whole person there, and you get together and you make a new whole person. You make a whole new whole person when you get with somebody. It's you being whole, they being whole, and that's meaning that you've worked on your bullshit, they've worked on their bullshit, and now y'all making a whole new person. That's what it is, because we come in here by ourselves and we leave out of here by ourselves. I don't care how many people was born on the same day you was born, you were still born individually by yourself. I don't care how many people leave here on the same day that you leave here, you still leave here individually by yourself. The one thing I didn't want to do, and my son did this, when I got pregnant, I knew I needed to change my life and be a better person. I just knew that. I just knew that for me to be a mom, I had to really know who I was. Because if I didn't know who I was, how could I instill in my son for him to be the best person that he was? And even in the midst of me being his mom, I was still working on myself. That's why now when we have conversations about life and things that he's going through, I can give him a better conversation and better advice because I'm a better person. Amina, you're in the 9th grade. What are you doing in my chat, ma'am? Okay, so if this is really a real person that's in the 9th grade and they saying that they get anxious due to the changes in experiences, I get overwhelmed and reality stress, which takes me away from being confident. What advice can we give that young person? First of all, change is going to come at every juncture of your life. And you're going to get anxious and overwhelmed at every juncture of that. And there might be some stress with it, because with change comes stress. But don't let it consume you. You're young. You're only in the 9th grade. Don't let that take away from your confidence. Think of it as a personal challenge, meaning that if I can get through this juncture of what's going on, it makes me stronger and more successful. So whatever's going on, even if you're in, that's what I'm saying, we shouldn't have any children because I don't make my chats open to children. I know that we have a lot of young people who are stressed and, oh my gosh, overwhelmed with all the things that they're dealing with in life that I didn't have to deal with in life. What I can say to you is that be confident at 14. And do know, the best thing I can say to you is that no season lasts forever. So whatever's going on at 14 won't be there at 15, won't be there at 16, won't be there at 17. Sometimes you're going to have to go through a difficult season where you're anxious, overwhelmed, frustrated, sad, whatever. Don't let that take you out. Just know that it's just a season and it will change. And that's for all of us. That's for all of us. No matter what we're going through right now, nothing stays the same forever. And if you're, okay, we're talking about a person that's 14 or 15. We know that from 14 to wherever you're at now, nothing stays the same. From me being 63 to 64, well, I'm sorry, 62 to 63, I'm trying to make myself older, nothing stays the same. When I was 62, 61, going into 62, I was feeling like, oh, am I ever going to meet somebody, blah, 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 blah. I wasn't thinking about moving or anything like that. I was chit-chatting with you guys. End up going to Hawaii, end up having to move, end up meeting somebody in the process, moving into a new place. I mean, things change. I mean, you just never know how. I had no idea we was going to have the new president that we got again. I mean, you know, things change. That's just life. Life is life. Life be lifing, as they say. That is the best. That is one of the best things I ever heard was life be lifing. If you can't deal with change, you won't be able to deal with life. I tell my son that all the time. Nothing stays the same. You're dealing with people. People are erratic, they're chaotic, they never stay the same. You don't know who you're going to deal with from day one to day two. You can marry somebody and be married to them for 20 years and realize you didn't know them. Every day we hear of situations about, thank you, Beverly. That's very good advice. Beverly says, most of all, be careful with your social circle. Keep your social circle small. And that is still good advice for us as adults. We're going to have disappointments in life. We're going to have stresses. We're going to have losses. We're going to have gains. You know, we're going to have people that disappoint us. I mean, how many of us can look back and look at when we were 14 or 15-year-old? How many of us are still friends with some of the people that we knew at 14 or 15? I can say one person. I got one friend from that time period. One. Well, I would say two, but unfortunately when somebody hacked my Facebook page, I need to try to get her back as my friend. But there was two of us. I met one when I was in third grade, and the other one I met when, gosh, when did I meet her? It was before middle school. Well, we had junior high, so I want to say we met in middle school. So most of us don't have friends from that time period anymore. I can think of two women that I'm still friends with from that time period. How many of you all still have friends from the time period when you were 14 or 15 years old? Yeah, we remember that, Tashana, unfortunately. But we grow and move on. And we lose those relationships. So, you know, how many of us have the same jobs we had in our 20s? Very few of us. There are some. I think somebody was in the chat that had been working since they had a job for 20 years. But the odds are the job you had at 21, you don't have at 51 or 61. I mean, the job I had at 21, I was in the military. By the time I was, what was I? 29, 30? I was getting out the military. Okay, but Beverly, are these people you met when you were like 14 or 15 years old? Because I have friends like the girl that braids my hair. We've been knowing each other over 20 years. I think it's almost 30 years now. Um, but I didn't know her when I was 14 or 15 years old. I met her later in life and we became friends. We're sisters now. You know, we're very good friends. We're like sisters. Because she knows my sister. Matter of fact, my granddaughter is best friends with her niece. Okay. But see, that's just how life changes. We don't keep the same friends. We don't keep the same jobs. We may not keep the same mates. It's just that is a part of life. And we have to learn early that things change. People don't like change, and I understand that. Nobody likes change, but it happens. It happens. And so, even in the midst of everything that happens, you still got to be able to know who you are and be strong in your convictions of who you are. Meaning, don't let change you unless it's for a good positive thing. Right? Okay. I'm going to get off of here. Me and Parker are going to go to bed. It is 11:30. You guys, as usual, it has been an awesome chat. I love your interaction and your comments. I love your viewpoint on things. I just love chit-chatting with y'all. And I know I haven't been coming on as much as normal, but I've been jobbing. Y'all know I'm a workaholic. I will work. So if there's any topics that you guys want to talk about, please check out the email address in the description box. Send me an email letting me know something that came to mind that you want to talk about, and we can do that. If you're new in the chat or in the bushes and you decide that you like what we were conversating about, it always changes. You never know what we may talk about. Please subscribe. And if you haven't, please thumbs up the video. Y'all know I don't normally say all that, but I'm trying to get better at it. Lovecraft, where you been tonight? She gonna say good night to Parker. Parker says good night to everybody. Tashana and Charlie, y'all be safe on the road in those highways and byways in Kentucky. And y'all might want to leave the eggs alone since they cost so much. And thank you guys for coming. Y'all know. Sandy and Chris, y'all are probably gone. I hope your son is having great vacation time. My sister, love you very much. Thank you for being in the chat tonight. And I'll talk to y'all when I do the live again. I'm not even going to say when I'm going to do the live because y'all know. I'll say I'm going to do one tomorrow, then I may not. It just all goes on how I feel. So we will see. But you guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope you're having great weather wherever you're at. It was awesome here in South Carolina today. And yeah. Love you much. Mwah. Me and Parker say good night. Look at him. He jumping up and down. I say his name, he jumping up and down.